Yo, I got a question for you guys. What do you think about the new endgame mode, Stygian Onslaught? This is a brand new endgame mode. It's not replacing the Spiral Abyss, nor is it replacing Imaginarium Theater. It's going to be in addition to that. There's a lot of different things going on here. You can actually pick your artifacts. You can pick which one that you want to get. Now, how do you get these? If you manage to beat the boss on hard, menacing, fearless, or above, then you actually will have the blossom pop up and you can go to it and you can pick up your artifacts. Be sure to actually do that, by the way, because you could easily just leave. It will be there. Go ahead and pick it up. Every single time you do that, you get dire prestige. If you keep on farming your artifacts through this mode, eventually you'll have 1200 dire prestige and you get yourself a Dust of Enlightenment, which is the artifact rearranger tool. But with that being said, how far did you get? How far did you get on your journey if you tried this yet, of course? Once again, there is normal, advancing, hard, menacing, and fearless. Do not underestimate fearless. I've seen a handful of people where their account literally cannot get past fearless, or this is like their stopping point. So this is definitely not just a thing to scoff at. Fearless actually can be a lot of people's stopping point. So be wary of that. If it's not though, hit this button right here where it says normal challenge. You get to dire mode. For dire mode, there are no leaderboards. There's no record of you doing it. There's nothing. It's just the satisfaction of completing it. So don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry. There's nothing, I swear. No, I'm lying. There is. In this situation, you actually get weapon skins. So if you finish the dire mode, just, in general, you get a 4-star weapon skin. Looks like this. Pyro, Hydro, Dendro, so on and so forth, right? If you actually manage to complete dire mode with each stage being under 60 seconds, 180 seconds, right? Then you get the 5-star weapon skins. They don't look too much different. They just have this fancy little glow to them. But here's the interesting part. These weapons only last for the actual cycle of the endgame mode. So you can see 39 days. You only have 39 days to like flex with this skin. And I imagine it's obviously because the endgame mode will reset, right? Once it resets, you'll have a different skin to obtain. But yeah, I mean, it's just a flex, really. But if there's anything that Hayo knows how to do well, it's manipulation. They get in your head and you go, huh, here's this thing that is out of my reach. Here's a thing that I could get, except I can't though. It's there, I see it, but I can't get it. And as human beings, it's kind of a natural inclination to want what you can't have. So, coming to this menu and just seeing either these two or more, if you're missing these two, it's just like you just want to keep on trying, right? But you also could have the attitude of you don't care. I got my primos, I'm out. Keep in mind the primos are only from normal, advancing, and hard. So you don't even have to go to menacing or fearless. So you're actually good on primos, honestly. But if you want 100,000 more Mora, Hero Wits, the Dust of Enlightenment, and if you want to push yourself even further, this is always here. I'm looking at like my friends' leaderboards and people who do have constellations and whatnot. C2 Mavuika, C6 Farina, and I'm just like, oh my god, like this game mode really is a field day for the Whales and Poseidons. In my personal experience, I have been a bit of a dolphin in the past. Like the last time I actually like swiped was like Kaniche, I think, the Kaniche incident. So I have C3, R3, Arlecchino. That definitely helped in dire mode. Kaniche is an accidental C1. Emily, Xiangling is back in action, Mavuika, and then Skirk. And then some accidental Shenhe Khans there. This is actually fearless on the screen right here. Let's go to the real dire mode. So I cannot do the lava dragon. I've tried for like 5-6 hours on stream. My last stream is just literally me trying this to the end of it. I could not do it. The mechanic of like trying to burn the enemy or apply pyro enough to get him through his phases, it takes so much time. I could not. Don't mind this team, by the way. This is just me being desperate. But I've tried Kanich, I've tried Veressa, threw Fischl in there, even tried Dia for some reason. I tried anything and just could not make it work. So that was pretty much where I was tapped on that one. The Skirk one's super easy as long as, look, I guess you have Skirk. I think Ayaka could probably get away with it. Maybe. Oh, and for some reason, Mavuika, I don't know why. I mean, she is C0 on my account, but I could not do this with Mavuika. And usually this lineup is like perfect for her. But I couldn't even break the shield, man. I couldn't even get past the shield. Couldn't even get past the shield. And she spins around as well, which allows for Sitlali to freeze the 2 mini telepos on the side. I just could not get through it with her. Obviously, Arlecchino is way more invested into vertically, but still, I was shocked. Like, on paper, Mavuika should be stronger than her, but yeah, I could not do this one. I couldn't even beat it. So that's about it for me as far as my personal attempts. But yeah, couple tips as far as the Hydro Tulpa goes. Cryo is your best friend when it comes to the mini Tulpas on the side. Any instance of Cryo will immediately kill them. So Cryo is awesome in this situation. If you are using Arlecchino, I recommend just doing combo 1, 2, 3 dash, 1, 2, 3 dash, and just do it like that. It may screw you over when you have to do a charge attack in the future, but that combo seems to be most beneficial, at least for me, alongside Sitlali, Julliangg, and Bennett. And because we don't actually start this mode with any energy, that's kind of a pain. But you want to do your E on Arlecchino and then funnel those particles into Bennett so he can ult frequently. You also want to kind of save some bond of life on Arlecchino. You don't want to exhaust it all, because the more bond of life you have, the more damage you do. So if you save some of the one that you had last time, you can actually have a stronger hit the next rotation. I had Sitlali on Tenacity, and I don't have her weapon, so I was using Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers, also known as TDDS. That was a big help. And then Scroll on Julliangg. Make your builds make sense. If Sitlali is on the scroll set and Julliangg is also on the scroll set, switch one out. Maybe have Sitlali on Tenacity instead. You know what I mean? Or maybe have Julliangg on Archaic Petra if that situation allows for it. Just have as many buffs as you possibly can have that actually could stack. Can't give any tips on the Lava Dragon, being I haven't done it myself yet. I will say Kanich is not the only person who can do it. I think it's been very apparent that Veressa can do it as well. You can throw Fischl on there too, like Fischl Veressa. I've seen people use like Pyro DPS to take care of it. And the last one, man, I don't know. It's just a Skirk. It's just a Skirk boss. I would love to see Ayaka be able to get away with it. I think she can with enough investment, but I can't see Risley doing it or Ganyu. But obviously, you know, once we get into the whale territory, of course, possibly, right? But not many tips on that one. That's just a cryo fest. Unironically, and probably an unpopular opinion, I actually do like the new endgame mode. I do. I'm a very stubborn person. I like to keep pushing my character to the max. I like to min-max and see if this one artifact could be better than the other one. Will that give me a better result? So on and so forth, right? I like pushing my character to the limit. So a mode like this just kind of is a playground for people like that. Obviously, I know I will never, ever, ever see the 5-star skin, at least. And nor will I ever make changes to do so. I'm not going that far. But still, it's fun for me to have something to do, because not all the time is there something to do. And the Spiral Abyss is fine and all. Imaginarium Theater is more of a horizontal investment kind of thing. It's a whole different thing. So I do like this mode. I could really care less about the skins and having them. Honestly, for me, I would try and beat the normal dire mode, even if there was no reward at all. I would just like to do it. I don't really care about the flex, but however, for me in my account, I know that I have, like I said, a fair amount of investment on characters. C2 Farina, and you know, like you saw the, oh, that was, oh wow, I forgot that happened. But it's not too crazy though, just some characters have cons, most of them don't. Some are accidental. And yeah, there's investment here. So certain teams do actually work out pretty well while some don't. But from the perspective of my own account, I can get fairly far, but not as far as I would like to. However, I have an alt account that I barely play on. And on this account, a more relatable account, I guess I would say. I haven't even tried it yet, but as you can see, if I were to try that right now on this account, I wouldn't even get to Fearless, probably. Right? So from this perspective, if your account looks somewhat like this, that's a different story. Because this is not a, oh, I gotta keep trying. This is, you are not going to get far. You know, so it's like literally get your primos and get out, basically. And if that's the perspective, I can see it not being fun for most people. If your account is like, maybe not this bad, but if it's in a place where it's like hard mode is a challenge, or like, you know, Fearless is a challenge for you, and you feel like you can beat it, then it's like, okay, that's pretty good. But if Fearless is like literally there's no way, like you see there's no way you could do it, then it's like, okay, yeah, this is just too much for me, right? If that's the perspective, I can see it not being as fun. But if you're somebody who can beat Fearless, or like beating Fearless is your big accomplishment, and then of course the players who can do dire, that's just like it's like a playground for them. It's like, oh yeah, you know, it's like a real challenge going. So I will most definitely see the split between players who are more on the free-to-play side, or like, you know, low investment versus the high investment players. But I do like it though. And last but not least, don't feel pressured by this endgame mode. Don't ever feel pressured. You guys know what's up. You've been playing gacha games, or you've at least been playing this one. You know how this goes. Don't let this new endgame mode, you know, discourage you or change your plans for pulling. I think that will happen for whales or dolphins. Like, they will maybe change up how they pull and what they go for. But at this point, I mean, C1, C2 may just be the norm. If like you always are having the new endgame mode in mind, right? If that's what you're pulling for, you're gonna have a rough time, because that's gonna require a lot from you. But it does depend on the boss, so don't feel discouraged. Maybe we have the second cycle of this and it's easier bosses, less harsh mechanics, and maybe you actually ace it next time. You know what I mean? And like I said, you're always going to be getting your primos. So all you're really missing is these if you can't do Fearless, and then you're just missing a temporary skin if you can't do dire mode. So, and plus, longtime Genshin players know, if you've been playing this game for over 3, 4, maybe 5 years, you worked hard for these weapons, man. You worked hard. And the weapon banner was freaking scummy as could be, where there was no guarantee whatsoever. Then they changed it, and then there was like a 2 fate point system, and they changed it again, and there's only a 1 fate point system. So you worked hard for these weapons, and to have a skin just be over it. Some of these are actually good looking weapons too, so I don't know, man. I just thought about that for a second too. I'm like, hold up. Like, these skins, these weapons actually look good the way they are, and also, gosh, you worked harder for these. That's it for me. That's my thoughts on new endgame mode. I do like it, but dang, Hayo. Dang.